Hey, I wanted to talk today about choosing joy. I bought this little, like a Christmas card to actually frame. So I'm not gonna send it, but I'm gonna frame it. It's like God has been for a little bit now, a couple weeks or so, um, talking to me constantly about choosing joy. And so I wanted to quick do a video about that. I was talking to my daughter the other day about something else unrelated. And I was saying to her, God showed me this, God showed me that. And I was telling her this story. And along the way, she said, well, how did God show you? And because this wasn't a super recent thing, like I was telling her a story from like 2 years ago, although I knew in my mind, like a quick recap, like how it all played out, the details were lost in a way where I could articulate it to her. How did God show me? So when this scenario happened with the choose joy, I want to get a record of that while the details are fresh so that, again, I can explain, for example, if she were to ask, how did God show me? How did God teach me? So anyway, but it originally started with me just seeing choose joy or just joy, but mostly it was choose joy on like everything. Like it was on a bag that I had from Cub Foods from the grocery store, and it was on a box that I have had for years. And you kind of flip open the top and put stuff inside, and on the top it says choose joy. And it was like thing after thing after thing, and it would stand out like the message was choose joy, choose joy. And I'd be walking around, then I'd see it again and be like time after time. Finally, I'm like, okay, this is not just random. This is God, right? This is clearly God is telling me something. And it would be like on the radio, or I had recently gone to, my friend gave me her 2 tickets to, for King and Country concerts, and then they end the whole concert with one of their songs about joy, and it was just constant. And it is the Christmas season, and so you're gonna see more things with joy, right? This is a Christmas card, so is part of it. But again, I've had 50 Christmases in my life, and never in my life have I been bombarded with the word joy or choose joy terminology ever. Like, this is different. And so after like experiencing that, like, I don't know, 10 times in 2 weeks or something, I was like, okay, clearly God is telling me to choose joy. I get that this is God saying this. This is not just random coincidences. And it seems so simple, like choose joy, choose joy. But what exactly, I was in this place of like, but I don't understand, God. I don't understand, like, what exactly do you mean? I get that it's you. I get that it's what you're saying. Like, it's not a hard concept to understand in that sense of choose joy. Like, you couldn't be more obvious. However, I'm still confused. I still don't know. I don't understand. What do you mean by this? How? What? My friends, it's a sad story. I don't even want to talk about it right now, but my friend had just lost her daughter, and like there's legitimate sad things that happen in the world. And so it's flippant in a sense to be like, oh, just choose joy. Just choose joy. Consider it all joy, right? And so I was like, God, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, what are you trying to, like, what do you mean? And so then I started seeing all these like more in-depth examples or like explanations of it. I was watching, there's this one church that I've been checking out. I really love the pastor. He is so wise, and you don't always get wisdom in a pastor. You should, but you don't always. Wisdom is something that comes over time and with age, and it's some people have it, some people don't. And this pastor, what I like about him is he's the most loving and the most wise pastor I have ever encountered, from what I can tell so far, right? I probably met him once, but from what I've been seeing, his approach to every single topic he talks about is so filled with just a loving wisdom, and I love it. And I also like that he's older than me. I don't honestly think it's always useful for me to have pastors that are younger than me, or pastors where I'm sometimes questioning their discernment abilities or their wisdom and stuff. Like it's nice. This man is so wise, so loving, and older than me. And there's something about that I really appreciate. But anyway, so he had a message about something, and he was talking about it. He was like, and that is the ultimate joy. And it was just these more in-depth explanations about it. So what he was saying, if I can even remember, but in essence, he was saying to like experience God's love, the love of God, right? That's joy. And then to give like that love to others, right? God's love through you to other people, that's joy. To experience that is the ultimate joy. And I was like, that is so interesting. And then I saw another message that was more explaining and like what joy is. And again, it was the same pastor. This was like one of his messages from like a year ago, and he was talking about the Beatitudes, which, we're slowly going through that topic, but and he was talking about the people who are blessed, the people who are doing the things now, living the life now of helping the poor or whatever, having mercy, or those people are the ones who are having that joy now, right? It's not like some future, someday you go to heaven and then you'll have joy. He's like, no, people who are blessed, the people who are blessed now are experiencing that joy now, right? And I'm of course saying it all wrong, but I kept hearing, so first I would see it, just the word, or it was always choose joy, almost always it was choose joy, but this one didn't count. I specifically saw this at the store and was like, I'm going to buy that because, so this didn't feel like one of the ones. It was just, I purposely bought it as a reminder to myself. Oh, and then also I had been listening to the Hallow app at night to fall asleep this had been going on for a while. I was listening to the Hallow app for like a month, and I rotate like which sleep stories I listen to. For whatever reason, they had this one called the Psalms of Joy, and I had been listening to this nightly. Like, I didn't change it up. I listened to the Psalms of Joy every single night for a long time without really fully processing any of it. And then one day, after all these joy scenarios, I went to go listen to the Hallow app at night, and I was like, here's another one. The Psalms of Joy. Like, I didn't even realize that I was listening to the Psalms of Joy for that long. But so anyway, going back on topic, where was I? Oh, and then the last story was, because there's this stray cat that I call him stray, because he used to be feral, totally just afraid of humans. And then he became more stray and like used to people, sort of, used to us at least, not other people. And then now he's almost an indoor cat. Like, he lives in our basement at night. He snuggles on the couch. He's incorporating himself into the household. We have to keep our other cat away from him, our other cats away from him, and then he even eventually goes back outside. But this cat is so appreciative. He is so appreciative of being like in the house and getting love. And so there was this one story which stood out that reminded me of the choose joy. So when this cat say is like in my lap and we're petting him and he's purring so loud. He purrs louder than any cat you've ever heard purr because he's just so thankful and appreciative to be like in that love, right? And to be petted and in the warm house in the middle of winter. And I think of that as like that's joy for him. Like he's abiding in my love, right? And then there are other times when, say, he can hear our cats kind of scratching at the door trying to get out because we have to lock them in the bedroom when he's inside. He gets nervous. He gets scared. Now, he is perfectly safe. The cats can't get out, and I'm right there to protect him. And he could stay in the state of abiding in my love and have the joy and be purring. But sometimes he can't. Sometimes he gets all on alert and he gets real nervous, and then he wants to go check them out and sniff underneath the door, or go to the front door and ask to leave. And he gets like panicky. His feral side comes out. And in those moments, he's legitimately stressed. He has self-preservation skills, but he's not abiding in my love in that moment. He's choosing to, in his own power, keep himself safe and get out of the house, go back into the cold where there are other animals ready to attack him every moment. They fight for their life out there. And he's not in that state of joy. And so it's like, it makes me see more clearly how when he can override that, because there's sometimes when he starts to get to that place, then he decides to just be safe and abide in my love and trust that everything's going to be fine. And so to me, that's a lot of the like choosing joy. So even when the things are like super scary or super hard, to be able to choose to abide in God's love and stay in that place of experiencing the love and being able to abide in that, and then being able to share that with others. It does take like some intention, in a sense of like choosing to abide. It's not that you're choosing to just have joy constantly, but you're choosing to abide in the love, to not have fear, right? To not have worry, to just abide in the love. And that gives you joy, right? That's how you choose the joy. So I just thought that was so interesting. So I feel like that's something that God had been teaching me very recently, the last 2-3 weeks or so. And I kind of wanted to share how it played out. So that's, I can just explain kind of how it works for me. There's some people who they will, especially like on YouTube and stuff, they will come on daily. And maybe other people have this gifting of prophecy or whatever. So I don't want to act like it's not true. It's just not my spiritual gift. So to me, it's a little weird. But daily, they'll be like, God told me this to tell all of you. God told me this to tell all of you. God told me this to tell all of you. This is what was on God's heart. That is what was on God's heart to tell all of you. Like daily, as if they know exactly what God is thinking and exactly what God is saying and exactly what God means by it all. And they're supposed to tell all of the masses daily, sometimes multiple times a day. It's like, to me, that's a little weird. I don't want to be like, oh, that's not actually, maybe that's not God. But I a little bit struggle with it. Like, okay, God's telling you this daily. So I struggle with it. So for me, where prophecy is not my gift, and that kind of thing is weird for me. I want to explain how God does it for me. And it's almost always things like these various coincidences. And then it's like discussions. It's that relationship. You're like literally talking to God about it. Like, I need to understand more, right? And then take you to the next level and just teach you things. And that's what they say. The Holy Spirit will teach you. all the things that you need to know. So that was my story about choosing joy. This is almost at 15 minutes, so we had to cut this off. But anyway, sorry that was so long. Anyway, I hope that you all can choose joy, and have a great day. Bye.